No one needs to introduce you to the renowned Paul Teutul Jr. In the world of uniquely designed chopper motorcycles, he has built a name for himself. The reality show American Chopper catapulted him to fame since it chronicled the daily activities of Orange County choppers. But how did Paul Jr.'s father and he really interact? Are they back together now? Paul Teutul Jr.'s tragic death and the events surrounding Paul Jr.'s relationship with Paul Cesar are about to be revealed, so be sure to stay tuned. American reality TV star Paul Michael Teutul Jr. was born to parents Paul Sr. and Paula Teutul on October 2, 1974. In the USA, he was one of 4 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister during his childhood. A professional nurse named Kristen, reality TV personality Michael from Orange County Choppers, and founder Daniel of Orange County Ironworks, LLC are all part of the group. In addition, he started the custom motorbike and gear company Paul Jr. Designs. After appearing on American Chopper, a reality show on the Discovery Channel in 2002, Teutul, his father and younger brother Michael all shot to fame. At the age of 12, Paul started helping out with the summer shifts at Orange County Iron Works, the steel company his father operated. A program run by the Board of Cooperative Educational Services allowed him to hone his metalworking skills when he was a high school student. He became the head of the railing shop after working full-time at Orange County Iron Works after graduation. Around this time, his dad began building motorcycles for fun more often. Seeing his son's potential in the metalworking and fabrication industries, Paul Teutul Cesar established Orange County Choppers in 1999. It is well known that Paul Teutul Jr. became famous after appearing on American Choppers, a reality TV show. His dad, Paul Teutul Sr., was a major designer and fabricator, and he was his main assistant. At Orange County Iron Works, he oversaw the rail shop in his previous role. Nevertheless, he stepped down from his role on April 9, 2009, after a disagreement with his father and business partner. His decision to resign from his full-time role with the organization was finally made on the April 30th show. Later episodes had him consulting for Orange County Choppers again, this time helping build motorcycles while his dad was out of town. Along with building a dog park in Montgomery, New York, he also established Paul Jr. Designs that year. According to TMZ's reporting from April 2010, he had intentions of starting his own motorcycle company to take on Orange County Choppers. But he signed a non-compete agreement with Orange County Choppers the following year and started building motorcycles. On the other hand, he teamed up with Orange County Chopper to compete in American Chopper Senior vs. Junior, a new series on the Discovery Channel. 2 bikes were constructed by Paul Jr. Designs for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows film. There was a famous TV dispute that became a meme long before Kim Kardashian's earring fell into the water or any of the turmoil on The Real Housewives. The legendary American Chopper father and son duo Paul Teutul Sr. and Paul Teutul Jr. became in 2008. At an episode from Friends' 5th season, a discussion regarding Jr.'s chronic tardiness at work takes place at his father's office. Paul Sr. furiously criticizes Paul Jr., stating that he shouldn't be forced to take care of his adult son. As a result, their discussion immediately becomes more heated. Due to his failure to see the dispute from his father's perspective, Jr. displays an excessive lack of self-control. They kept yelling at each other until Paul Jr. was fired from Orange County Choppers. The argument meme we know and love today was inspired by these last few seconds, even though it wasn't developed until 2011 and didn't find traction on social media until early 2018. The father and son, nevertheless, are overjoyed that their harsh words are now helping others. In 2018, Discovery posted a video to YouTube in which this was stated. Neither the father nor the son could fathom the meme's meteoric rise to fame. Paul Jr. and Cesar have been at each other's throats due to usual occurrences in American Chopper. This is because their mutual frustration is the root cause. Another quarrel occurred at one point. Co-workers could feel the tension in the air the moment Sr. showed up to inspect the shop floor in the first season episode Daytona Bike Week. In the end, Paul Sr. puts his son in his place for speaking up as he starts to wonder what was going on. Jr. is completely absorbed in making sure that every detail of his work is perfect. While they slam one another mercilessly, their co-workers take a break from the stress and negativity by going outside. Even though it's just your average argument between the two of them, the scene does a good job of highlighting Junior's quieter side. Speaking into the camera, he confesses that he thinks his father views him as an individual seeking validation for any shortcomings he may have. Some of Junior's admirers admire his ability to argue confidently while on the job, and they also point out that he keeps his composure when defending himself. In an interview with the 700 Club, Junior reflected on his father's influence and shared the reasons he decided to quit the shop. He accomplished this by comprehending the events leading up to his departure. American Chopper made sure to make a grand exit as it turned off its engine for the first time in 2010. Another disagreement ensued, as you could expect. The story begins with Junior informing his colleagues that Senior is en route to examine a new production bike, so they should ensure that the shop floor is neat and tidy. In the last episode of Season 6, this detail was unveiled. Junior was not pleased to see that Paul Sr. was already brimming with suggestions for how they could improve the product when he arrived. In contrast to their usual more intense and insulting arguments, the plot develops in a new way this time. Instead, they were just thinking about the family turmoil that had previously happened in their lives. And Junior mentions that they are becoming better at communicating with one another, ending the days of intense verbal and physical confrontations. The two of them become emotionally overwhelmed as a result of this. Having said that, a lot of pent-up tension remains, since Junior thinks his father's unexpected appearance is a tad too coincidental. Both the rivalry between Junior and Junior's shop, Paul Jr. Designs, which specializes in more than simply motorcycles, are shown in American Chopper Sr. vs. Junior. Prior to moving to Florida, the company's original shop was located in the same region of New York as Senior's Orange County Choppers. Along with Junior, the Paul Jr. podcast hit the airwaves in 2021. His Instagram comment read, "This is something I've wanted to do for a very long time." His 2017 book Family and Faith and the Build. Designing My Life of Choppers are more works by him. Paul Jr. thanked his father when asked about his dismissal from the family business. The father-son duo was known for their contrasting techniques and their frequent appearances in public fights. Paul Jr., however, started a rival firm named Paul Jr. Designs after an escalating argument led to his dismissal in 2008. The chain reaction began when Jr. was chronically late to work. "His behavior has been consistently problematic, and I will no longer tolerate it. You know, I'm sick of babysitting you," Paul Sr. said before turning to his son. "A quarter before 8 o'clock. At 7 o'clock everyone is here, and you may wander in at 7:45. How long until it ends?" Continuing his defense, Junior informed his father that he couldn't care less as long as work was done around here. "All of the bikes that require manufacturing have been finished. It seems like everyone is always working, and guess what? It's a partnership. This would be a complete and utter disaster if I weren't taking part. It would be destroyed by fire." In front of the whole workforce, Paul Sr. rejected his son after he threw a chair in his father's office. When Paul Sr. couldn't get his 20% share in Orange County Choppers from his son, he went to extreme lengths, including suing him. Their split led to the cancellation of the reality show, but in 2010, American Chopper Sr. vs. Junior, a spin-off, was revealed. Paul Teutul Jr. revealed in a 2017 Fox News article that he was inspired to start Paul Jr. Designs after being fired. For the duration of 1 year, he was unable to construct motorbikes due to a non-compete condition. "Aside from building bikes, I benefited from the year. I had lost interest in building motorcycles since working with my father had become such a toxic environment. Nevertheless, I was able to establish my own supportive atmosphere after departing from Orange County Choppers. My imagination blossomed. As a man, I came of age. Everything that people had been trying to teach me finally clicked." He said that my connection with my dad was unhealthy. According to Junior, he and his father went silent for a decade. "We were truly at conflict, and it was a difficult scenario for us both," he continued. They didn't work on their relationship and settle their differences until 2018. After relaunching American Chopper on the Discovery Channel in 2018, the two have made efforts to mend their relationship. Paul Teutul Sr. went so far as to say that Jr. and he would never be seen working side by side again. The two of them broke up because of their inability to work together, and Sr. made it clear that he was not ready to do it again. Paul Teutul Sr. has discovered a new method to dispute with his children, further alienating himself from his family, even if Mikey and Paul Jr. are no longer on American Chopper. He has also made an effort to cut ties with his loved ones. In a case that Paul Sr. has brought before the highest court in New York, the Supreme Court, he is claiming that he, as the older Teutul, has the legal right to buy out his son's share in Orange County Choppers Holdings, Inc. Paul Sr. wrote to Paul Jr. to let him know that he was thinking about buying out Paul Jr.'s shares at a predetermined price using an option he had with his stock. According to estimates, the stock options are worth over $500,000, and the lawsuit requests an additional $1 million in damages. Since leaving Orange County Choppers, Paul Jr. has started his own business doing industrial design, and Mikey has been getting help for his alcoholism. Consequently, Paul Jr. is no longer a part of Orange County Choppers. While living in his castle of solitude with his newly discovered bride, Beth Dillon, Paul Sr. has publicly declared that he does not speak with any of his children. Even though the other employees at Orange County Choppers were disappointed to hear this news, embarrassing show Candid showed Paul Sr. expressing his satisfaction that his sons were no longer employed there. Teutul co-founded Paul Jr. Designs in 2009 using the proceeds from a dog park he built in Montgomery, New York. At the 2010 celebration of Coleman's 10th anniversary, he created his first product design, a revamped road trip grill. The American Chopper episode Stuart Haas Bike from February 4, 2010, supposedly featured Teutul pitching a line of dog toys made of bamboo to Boggs. Rumor has it that somewhere around the middle of April 2010, TMZ published an article. The original plan for Teutul's motorcycle company was to compete with Orange County Choppers. According to Teutul's account, the Orange County Choppers have a number of former employees, including Robert Nubcollar, Joe Pugliafico, Vinny DeMartino, and Michael Teutul. Following the completion of the one-year non-compete period with Orange County Choppers, Teutul began manufacturing motorcycles at PJD. The Discovery Channel's upcoming series American Chopper, Sr. vs. Jr. features PJD. The corporation's main competitor presently is Orange County Choppers. Cody Connolly moved on from his job with the Orange County Choppers and became a member of the PJD. In 2014, PJD formed two teams that would later design two Azeroth choppers for Blizzard Entertainment's World of Warcraft, the video game. Paul Teutul met his future wife Rachel Beester in an American Chopper episode called Gas Tank Protector McGuff. After completing her stint as the McCuff girl, she befriended Paul. They started dating, and after some time they tied the marriage on August 20, 2010. Rachel Beester is an American model and businesswoman who has achieved remarkable success throughout her career. She has been in commercial campaigns for well-known brands in addition to the fashion industry and style publications. She owns the Oliver Ann business in Montgomery, New York, which is a flourishing haute couture business. A high level of interest is maintained throughout the year by the company thanks to the store's big number of daily consumers. The wedding to Paul Teutul Jr. catapulted Rachel to stardom, despite her extensive modeling career. Since their connection was made public knowledge, Rachel's life has been closely watched by many. A lot of people have been interested in the reality TV star's wife Rachel, wanting to know things like her age, profession, and identity. The wedding, which took place at New Jersey's Bonnet Island estate, drew more than 100 people. Say Yes to the Dress was the inspiration for Rachel's wedding dress, and Cake Chef was the source for the delectable cake that they served at the ceremony. The happy pair had a kid of their own. Their son, Hudson Seven Teutul, was born in February 2015. The family has remained in their beautiful home throughout the years. Paul Teutul Jr. became a household name after joining the family business and starring in the American Chopper television series. The Teutul family continued to grow their helicopter company, but they started to get noticed because of it. Orange County Choppers caught the attention of the Discovery Channel little under 3 years after True Blue debuted at Biketoberfest in 1999. As the new century began, Discovery shifted its focus to reality programming in an attempt to reach a wider demographic. The first airing of American Chopper's pilot episode took place on September 29, 2002. Paul Cesar and Paul Jr., the pilot's characters, built the jet bike. It was planned that this bike will be unveiled at the 2002 Laconia Bike Week in New Hampshire in June. Things start to get awkward between the two tools when Paul Jr. ignores his job duties to play golf in the middle of a crisis. January 19, 2003 was the date of the second pilot's showing. This episode provided a more in-depth introduction to the Teutul family. During their conversation, Paul Cesar and Paul Jr. also spoke up about their histories of substance abuse and alcoholism. Leading the way was American Chopper. There weren't many documentary-style reality shows that followed a business and its employees around all day long when I was growing up. There was clearly more going on with the show than only the building of extraterrestrial, unique helicopters right from the start. The show's meteoric climb to fame was in part due to the fact that it shed light on the dynamics among the company's workers, clients, and even family members. The series received its full-time commitment on March 31, 2003, and the official premiere episode was released the following day. Much of the first season focused on how the Orange County Choppers team handled the pressure of looming deadlines for their lofty goals. Paul Jr. was depicted as the rebellious son in contrast to Paul Cesar, who was shown as the commanding figure and orator. Season 1 marked the debut of Paul Cesar's youngest son and Paul Jr.'s brother, Michael Teutul. Throughout the life of the show, his principal role as assistant general manager of the Orange County Choppers was to offer comic relief to the teasing that occurred between his father and brother. On November 7, 2017, Paul Teutul Jr.'s first book, The Build Designing My Life of Choppers, Family and Faith, was published. The fact that they were about to receive the information straight from the source made this a watershed moment for many people who had been following the father and son story. Several of the harmful traits shared by the father and son were on full display in the video. On the other hand, it seems like something even worse happened behind the scenes. In a conversation that took place following the book's publication, Paul Teutul Jr. informed the New York Times that the book's release was actually planned for the autumn of 2016. But things worked out differently than expected. But he thinks the timing is perfect in every respect. This was because the dispute between the two parties had already received a great deal of media attention when the book came out. Paul's store had stopped being open, and everyone was ready to hear him out when he told his story. The book detailed Paul Jr.'s terrible experience of being thrust into the limelight. Ignoring the fact that it strained his connection with his father, he quickly emphasized that the experience was mostly good except from the heavy workload. If readers had any reservations about the veracity of the fights, Paul Jr. put their minds at ease on the opening page of his book. My father and I were involved in a relationship train wreck that was just as hard to ignore as the fact that we would eventually become a couple. According to it, we were involved in a train wreck for 233 one-hour episodes spread across 10 seasons. That, by the way, happened. Paul Jr. takes the reader on a journey through his childhood and the difficulties of growing up with a guy he characterized as a monster in the opening pages of the book. It seems that Paul Cesar had a problem with alcoholism which strained his relationships with his loved ones. However, it seems that the issue runs in the family. Paul Jr. revealed that his dad had an alcoholic mother when he was growing up. Families where the parents bicker more than they show physical affection to one another. Paul Jr. was eventually able to accept his father's decision to end his connection with his mother and his father's alcoholism after learning this about Paul Cesar's upbringing. The motorcycle business he owns and the fame he obtained from reality TV have both contributed significantly to his considerable financial success. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Jr. has a net worth of $2 million. In contrast, Jr.'s family has not had the same level of financial success. Scott Gunnels reportedly exploited his artwork on goods for the show Orange County Choppers in 2020, when he sued his father, Paul Teutul Sr., and brother Michael Teutul, according to page 6. The amount claimed in the case exceeds $25,000. As reported by MSN, the family's claim was denied. While other businesses like Orange County Choppers, Discovery Inc., and Pilgrim Media Group were named as defendants in the case, Paul Jr. was not. The financial troubles experienced by Jr.'s family have been continuing, and this case is just the latest illustration of that. Rumor has it that Paul Sr. was also the target of a fraud lawsuit in 2018. The ex-business associate sued because, according to him, he sabotaged a television production which cost millions of dollars. His property was foreclosed on in the same year that he filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, according to the blast. He seems to have over $23,000 in state taxes to pay for his eatery, Orange County Choppers Cafe. Even his own automobiles were sold off as he was struggling to make ends meet. Paul Jr.'s net worth is believed to be $2 million according to Celebrity Net Worth. The TV show and bike modifications he does bring in a pretty penny for him. His exact yearly income is unknown at this time, but given his impressive career trajectory, it must be well into the hundreds of thousands. The contrast is his father, who is worth $500,000. Along with his family, he enjoys a life of opulence and luxury. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and share it so you can be notified when I upload more videos.